Welcome back! Let's dive into the 5 types of experience. If you want to be successful in CX, you need more than a standalone measuring program. You need smart links and connections between all types of experience. What I've seen over the past years is that many organizations are drowning in the complexity of experience. And that's what I'd like to help you avoid. There are so many terminologies, hypes, and therefore unclarity, that it slows the entire process down. Here are just a few examples of what I see happening around me. Customer experience and user experience are mixed up or considered to be one and the same thing. There's no connection between brand and customer experience. And the management of channels is seen as being CX, while CX is actually much broader than the channels alone. And don't even get me started on all the possible types of metrics and the hypes that surround them. This is part of the reason why so many CX programs fail to deliver the expected results. In order to untangle this complex spaghetti, we will work with the 5 types of experience. This makes it clear for the entire organization what role each person plays and where the 5 types can reinforce each other. Now, I'm not claiming this is the ultimate and only truth, although that would be very convenient. I'm sure we could spend the day discussing other classifications, and you certainly won't agree with some of the choices I make. Just know that everything I do is based on seeing and experiencing what works in practice. And yes, it absolutely comes from a scientifically sound background, yet in the end, I will always choose pragmatic ways of achieving the goal over theory or current hypes. Why? Because metrics are not a goal in itself. They are a means to an end. And that end goal is to engage everyone and create energy across the entire organization. With this context in mind, let's look at the 5 types in more detail. I'll briefly take you through them and discuss them in more detail during the training. We define the following 5 types: brand experience, customer experience, employee experience, service experience, and user experience. In brand experience, you're defining what your brand and organization stands for. That in turn determines the direction of all other types of experience. You look at how to apply your brand across all other types, so that you can deliver your brand promise in all journeys of customers and employees. In terms of the experience metric, we'll look at the NPS, the Net Promoter Score. In customer experience, you start right from the moment that a customer has made a decision, I'm going to Philips, or I'm going to ING. How I arrive at that choice is a brand experience. But my entire journey, from the moment that I check out the site, I buy a product, I have it delivered, I use customer service, inform them that I'm moving to a new address, and possibly leave them in the end, is all covered by the scope of customer experience. And although there's often no choice when it comes to the public sector, there's no alternative I can move to when it comes to the tax authorities, for example, the CX scope applies here as well. CX starts from the moment that I look for information on filing my tax returns, on the tax authority's website, all the way to processing and receiving money in my bank, or paying what I need to pay. The focus is on journeys, no, not touch points, and exactly what you need to do during those journeys to make the difference for your customers or citizens. In terms of metrics, satisfaction is central, and especially its drivers. In employee experience, it's all about the journeys of your employees. It's impossible to create a great customer experience without good employee experience. All too often, brand experience only pays attention to the external brand perception, failing to translate it internally. Or there's only an eye for customer experience without looking at the employee experience. Just like in CX, we'll be looking at the journeys and drivers required to create happy employees. In terms of metrics, you learn what goes wrong in the hype around employee engagement and why other metrics, such as effective commitment, are more useful. In the 4th type, service experience, it's all about the channels through which the customer or employee can ask questions or make complaints. Service experience therefore affects both the customer and employee experience. We'll be focusing on call, email, chat, and WhatsApp as the most commonly used service channels with human interaction. And you'll gain insight into the win-win of cost reduction and at the same time happier customers and employees. A win-win to be gained as long as you consistently keep analyzing and improving based on the experience. In terms of metrics, we use a combination of first time right, not to be confused with first time fix, and satisfaction. Although you can of course have questions answered through online FAQs or a chatbot, for example, I've consciously placed online in user rather than service experience. Because if you want to make a difference online, UX plays an essential role. So the fifth and final type, user experience, is all about the digital experience. Whether it's a website, an app, or other digital tools. Although many UXers will certainly disagree with this choice of scope, I'll be explaining why the scope is so useful in the UX module. Once again, UX plays a role in both customer and employee experience. Just think about a website or app for customers, or that CRM system for employees. Oh, spoiler alert, the online training will not make you a UX expert. You will learn how to use the insights gained from brand experience and customer experience to improve user experience and vice versa. In terms of metrics, the CES, the Customer Effort Score, is central, alongside conversion, of course. These are the 5 types that will help you accelerate your organization's progress towards measurable success. You'll be continuously working on all aspects of experience with impact throughout your organization. Check? Alright. To get a feel for the no-nonsense style I like to use, in the next video I share the most common nonsense in terms of experience metrics. I'll see you there.